up? I'm Chetan, and with me is Chris.
Hey, everybody.
So, Chris, you grew up in the '80s, right?
I did.
So, do you remember what we're reading comics and seeing an artist in there that kind of not blew you away, but something about him just kept saying, "Hey, I like this guy's work," and it's not Sergio Aragonis.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'll play dumb. We already talked about what this episode's about, but I'll play dumb because I didn't have any idea what you were talking about. And then you showed me, and maybe we'll just pop up a piece of this artwork and people can sort
And
of be
Chris actually,
amazed as I was.
Chris did not recognize his name, but when he looked him up, he knew who he was. We're talking about Fred Hembeck.
Yeah. So I would say that possibly one of the most underrated, at least by name, comic book artists of the 80s.
Oh, I agree. I agree. I mean, I think he did a book called Fred Hembeck Destroys Marvel or something like that. He did a full comic. I remember in the '80s, and I had it at one time. I don't have it anymore, but his art style was simple but good.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just like really, and it was used a lot. Like I seem to remember, like there would be like we've talked about ad in a past episode, but there would be ads. Like I think Marvel really used his artwork a lot
A
for a
lot,
lot
yeah,
of
because
things.
I remember reading Marvel comics and they would have their not letters page. What is it called? The bullpen or whatever, and at the bottom or something, they would have a comic strip,
Yeah,
and it always used to be a Fred Hembeck comic, and
I
almost
wonder
every
if he
Marvel
was
had one.
really fast. Like I wonder if he was A, really fast, and B, like could just produce a lot of stuff because I feel like while he may not have had like books, he was in a lot of material.
That's probably the case, and and probably I wonder if he worked for again, this is where we have to do our research and find out if he worked for Marvel.
Yeah. I to me, like having worked like when I remember at the animation studio, there would be a few artists that like whenever it was somebody's birthday, you get to do the card and things like that. And I wonder if he was the guy in Marvel that also did a lot of the internal stuff. Like, you know, I imagine if there was like an internal corporate newsletter, I could picture him doing a lot of the art for it. Like his style really lends itself because it's kind of goofy, but still really good.
So one of the books I do remember seeing his artwork a lot in was Marvel Age, which was
Yes, you're right.
yes, Marvel Age was a book that kind of had previews of upcoming comics and stuff coming out for the year, I guess, for Marvel, and it had a lot of behind the scenes and artists interviews and stuff. And I always remember Fred Hembeck always had either a one pager or a comic strip or something in there.
The other one I remember his work was in Who's Who.
Yes, yes, I think he did a few. Yes,
So I remember him
yes,
being a few, he'd always sort of the wackier characters he would often get. So,
yes.
like if it was a Spider-Man villain that was like in one issue that was really a bad villain, like a really poorly designed, silly villain, it would often be him that would do it.
And I remember he always used to do, and this is what I liked. Reason I think he stood out for me was not his artwork. I mean, his artwork was great, but he also did puns on superheroes. Like,
Yes.
if something happened to Spider-Man, if Spider-Man had a black costume or whatever, he'd do something, a joke on that.
Yeah. I think he did a lot of Frobisher Man or whatever, the bucket on his head.
Oh, probably, yeah,
I think he did. I think
yeah,
I've seen seen him draw that character quite a few
yeah.
times. So I think whether I don't know, maybe he invented him. I don't know. But I think that he gravitated towards that character because it was sort of very much his style.
Yeah. So he's one of the artists that, and I have to agree with you, very underrated. I mean,
Yeah.
even in the '80s, and I mean '80s, you saw his work everywhere. You remember his name, but he wasn't prominent out there. I think it was, and this is wrong thing to say, and no insult to Fred Hembeck or anyone like that. His style was cartoony, and that did not fit the Marvel style.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and
That's
at that time, growing up, I liked him. I liked Sergio Aragonis. Those are two big names. Styles are different from John Byrne or George Perez or any of those guys, but I don't think Marvel. especially wouldn't want to focus on an artist like that.
So here, I have a technical question for you about him
Yes.
and see what you think. His inking, how did he get such a clean line?
I have to, yes, you're right, because it looks like he's using technical pens or what do you call it? You know, I mean, this is before, that's the 80s, so these weren't around at that
Like the
time.
rotary technical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna,
And like and he must have been using like curves and stuff because his eyes are round.
yeah,
Like
that's
I
it,
feel like
round,
you could
perfect
measure
round.
like perfectly round and like even like his heads would have this like perfect curve. There'd be no sort of wiggle to the line whatsoever.
But I wonder if he used what do you call it? Fine liners like Gil Kane did. Gil Kane
Maybe.
used them, but the problem of pens that in those days were the ink faded. It wasn't
Yeah.
it wasn't archival ink in it. So if he did do that, I mean, most of that pages haven't survived. I remember Gil
Yeah.
Kane was famous for using those type of pens, you know. And Fred Hembeck, when you look at his work, I don't think it's nibs, and I don't, and I if it's brush, I'm amazed because how fine lines.
That's
Yeah, and
mind
it's
blowing if it's
yeah,
brush.
if it's brush, it'll be mind blowing. Yes.
Yeah. So like yeah, but yeah, I'd also I've never seen his roughs. I'd love to see his roughs.
Oh, that would be good. See his pencils.
Yeah, because like again, it's so clean. Like his stuff is ridiculous. Like his stuff is so clean that like if you were to look at it nowadays, you swear it was just done on Procreate. And you have certain tools in Procreate where you can do like the perfect curve where you hold
That's
your
it.
pencil down
Yes.
and it curves it perfectly. But like the thing is like I mean we've all used tools before, like you and I in particular, and like to get certain curves, you're dealing with like French curves and circle templates and like the amount of time that it would take to sort of you'd be pulling up because he has
Oh,
all these
pulling
curves.
everything. Yeah.
There are different angles and different sizes. So he'd be like sitting there with like hundreds of templates and curves and constantly just grabbing at them to ink it a perfect curve. Like either either he took forever with every single tool possible, or he just had a really steady hand.
I I'm thinking I honestly think he's probably has a very steady hand and is very fast.
Maybe. Because like you look at Sergio, like in the cartoony style, you look at like a Charles Schulz, Sergio, and even like, the comic strip guys who do it, it's not that clean. Like their lines are not that clean. Like they're very rough. Like
Yes,
Charles
that's
Schulz
it.
is
Yeah.
known for, he actually had tremors when he was older and people didn't notice because his style was already sort of
Already, yeah.
already wiggly. But to have like a quick style in cartooning and such clean lines before digital existed, if you think about it, like if you go look at his work, it's mind blowing.
Well, when you look at some artists, and we have to do an episode one day on him, but look at Bill Watterson. I mean, his
Yeah.
style, I mean, he uses a brush, but you could see the brush strokes,
Yeah.
where Hembeck, I think he uses at that time fine liners.
Fine liners. Yeah. But even still, to get like the curves that exact with a fine liner, you have to have some kind of line or a ridiculously steady hand.
I
Because the other
think,
thing too is
yeah.
there's no blotches. Like if you're drawing by hand and you're doing a curve, your hand slows down a little and goes faster, like as you're hitting that. And he has none. Like it's perfect.
Okay, so we need help. Anyone watching this that have any information on this, please let us know or do a clip video and send it to us on this or comment
Yeah, what I would like is either somebody that has original art or somebody that has copies of his pencils, just to get a comparison.
just to see what it's like. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what you really need to see. So definitely somebody, I think everybody here should be looking him up. And well, the thing is, you'll look him up, you'll see like three images, and it'll just flood back in your memory.
Yeah. The name you won't remember. Chris, when I brought it up for Chris as a talk on Geek Shop, Chris was like, I don't know who that is. I don't know who
Yeah,
that is. And I told Chris that once you see his artwork, you'll know who it is.
exactly. And it 100% was like, I just remembered it. And now I'm jealous. I'm going to be looking at his line and I'm going to be obsessed about it for the next little while about how he did that. So.
Okay, so everyone go look at Fred Hembeck's work. You'll be amazed, you'll be impressed, and just read and you'll get a good laugh out of it.